Demai Perek Zayin Mishnah Gimel. This is a continuation of a previous Mishnayot in which we were talking about what happens if you got invited for Shabbat to somebody's house and you don't trust him. So now we're up to another case where the person is a worker and he's working for a Balabayit. He's a Po'el, and he's working for a Balabayit, an owner. And it was understood, part of the working conditions were that if you were hired, he would give you lunch. Problem is, you don't really know, you're not really comfortable about the kashrut of the lunch. Says the Mishnah, Po'el she'eno ma'amid Balabayit. If the Po'el doesn't trust the Balabayit, so the Balabayit is giving him grogrod, he's giving him dates for lunch. Okay? So, but the problem is he thinks it's demai. I'm a chaver, and the Balabayit is an Am Haaretz, and the Balabayit says, no, I took off Trumot Masrot. Give me a break. Eat your lunch. Go do your work. So what do you do? Says the Mishnah. The worker doesn't trust the Balabayit. Notel grogeret achat ve'omer. So he could take one grogeret, one date, and say, look, just like we said in the previous Mishnayot. Zo v'teisha habaot achareha. This date, and the 9 that come afterwards, asuyot ma'aser al tish'im sha'ani ochel. I'm making them ma'aser on 90, meaning this ma'aser misafek, it's demai, 90 on tish'im sha'ani ochel, on the 90 that I'm going to eat, so that's 100, okay? So therefore, all the masorot are now transferred onto the 9, this one, and another 9, 10. Zu, and this one, zu asuyat trumat ma'aser alehem. And I'm making this one that I have in my hand, trumat ma'aser. U'ma'aser sheni ba'achorna, u'muchalal ala ma'ot. As always, the ma'aser sheni will be on the last of the 100 that I eat, and it'll be muchalal al ma'ot, it's we can get halal on money. V'chosech grogeret achat. Chosech grogeret achat here means he has to nimna, says the Bartanura, nimna mele'echol grogeret achat. He has to stop. He has to not eat one grogeret, one date. Keneged ota shatrumat maaser sheifrish. Shelo yehe gozel et balabayit. Meaning, he has to take one and keep it for the kohen. He holds one and say he eats 99, and one he saves for the kohen. Okay, because he can't. He gets 100. He gets a certain amount. He gets an allotted amount of food that he's allowed to eat. The balabayit, it's not the balabayit's responsibility. He doesn't trust the balabayit, so he has to take out of his allotted portion. Okay, they gave him a certain amount. He has to take one grogeret from that and give it to the kohen. Says the Mishnah. That's the Tanakama. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel Omer lo yachsor. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says he doesn't have a right not to eat lunch. The reason the Balabayit gives him lunch is that he'll be able to work, and if he doesn't eat his full lunch, he won't be able to have the energy to do the work. Lo yachsor. He cannot hold back that one. He can't put it in his pocket in a doggy bag for the kohen. Because then he will not have the full energy to do the work of the Balabayit. That's part of his pay. It's fascinating, the ethic of Chazal when it comes to obligations of Baalei Habayit vis-a-vis workers, and workers vis-a-vis Baalei Habayit. You know, I remember vividly when I was in high school still, working in the summertime. I worked in a high-tech firm, as it's called, a computer firm. And there was everybody, how should we say this, wasted a lot of time in the office, which I think is relatively common. But there was one person, he was a religious Jew. He just took the idea of Bitul Zman very seriously. He said, I'm paid for my time. And he worked diligently. And we see this explicitly, this idea in the Mishnayot, in Halacha, obviously. Halacha says, you have to work. And he took this to a very authentic and ideological extreme in a very admirable way. Lo yachsoch, the Balabayit pays you, he pays for your lunch. You don't have the right to now take that one date and not eat it, because then you can't work as well. So therefore, Rabbi Shimon Gamliel says, yeah, you took off one grogeret, go buy it yourself afterwards. Eat lunch now, you're going to transfer the kedusha, you're going to buy a grogeret to the kohen. That's on you, not on the Balabayit. Rabbi Yossi says he agrees ideologically with the Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, but he says lo yachsoch. You don't have to take off. Why? You don't have to save that date. You should eat it. It's understood at Tanai Beitin. It's interesting. This says the Bartinu Rashu Tanai Beitin. Shetehei trumat maaser mishal balabayit u'maaser sheni min hapoel. Okay, that the Beitin made a condition that the deal was when you're feeding the workers, trumat maaser, the 1% is on the balabayit. And Maaser Sheni belongs to the worker. Hilkach, Chaya Balabayit litenu hagrogeret sheifrish trumat maaser. Okay, the Balabayit has to give him the grogeret that he gave to trumat maaser. I.e., the Balabayit himself it's a responsibility for the Balabayit to give him, to take off and then pay him. So therefore, if he takes it off, he doesn't trust the Balabayit took it. it's the responsibility of the Balabait to take that extra go-get. First of all, you see that they're fighting over figs. We don't understand because it's one fig or one date, whatever. So what are you making a big deal? Because every little bit was money, and that was a big deal. And secondly, it's a very interesting. We see the work ethic that Chazal had. If the Balabait pays you and he feeds you, you have an obligation to do the full work and have the energy to do the work in the proper way. Okay, as always, I want to dedicate these learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. And here's the email address if you have any comments or questions. Share Mishnah Yomi, please. Share with your friends. Share with not your friends. Have a great day.